by in your book is, first of all, the title, but then the way in which, in surveying American history, you really seize, as you do in the title, on language and how language has reflects our history, but also has shaped it. So just to get us started, could you tell us about the title and how you chose such a perfect title, and whether there was any debate in your publishing house whether this would be the title?
There was.
Okay.
One of the things I wanted to do with this book is show that our notions of class have a much longer and older history. And I take it all the way back to the British colonial period, in part because even though we tell ourselves that the American Revolution, we left Great Britain, we got rid of the aristocracy, in fact, none of that is true. We borrowed a great deal from British and English culture. And two of the concepts that are sort of central to where white trash comes from is, first of all, since we have been an agrarian nation for over half our history, it's important to pay attention to rural ways of thinking about class. And the idea of white trash actually was first used by Richard Hakluyt, who was an Elizabethan adventurer who made a pitch to Queen Elizabeth about why we needed the New World. And the real reason that he felt the New World was important is that it was going to be the trash bin for the poor and the idle and the worthless people in England. Now this, of course, was an Elizabethan adventurer who made a pitch to Queen Elizabeth about why we needed the New World. And the real reason that he felt the New World was important is that it was going to be the trash bin for the poor and the idle and the worthless people in England. Now this, of course, upsets the apple cart on the idea that somehow everyone who came to the New World were seeking religious liberty. It's not true. Most people were coming for economic reasons, and the word that was used by Richard Hakluyt to describe these people was waste people. So therefore, the idea of trash, Thomas Jefferson advocated reasons, and the word that was used by Richard Hakluyt to describe these people was waste people. So therefore, the idea of trash, Thomas Jefferson Abigail Adams referred to the rural white population as rubbish. Now we still hear that. British people still talk. So therefore, the idea of trash, Thomas Jefferson Abigail Adams referred to the rural white population as rubbish. Now we still hear that. British people still use that term today. But part of what I was trying to uncover is that two big concepts that we need to think about still shape our class system today. One is the idea of land and the importance of the civic value and the economic value and the class value of being a landowner. And this is important because one of the things that we have to realize is that even in the early founding period, you couldn't vote unless you owned land, and land in a sense was seen as the real source of liberty. You had to be a landowner. So land, and if we think about why land continued to be associated with the poor were very much fashioned as either being seen as people who lived on land that was considered wasteland, because that's where waste people came from. Wasteland is land that's left untilled and fallow and is unproductive. So therefore, the waste people throughout American history end up being associated with unproductive land. For example, the term redneck is identified as being associated with people who live in swamps. At the same time, hillbillies are associated with people who live in the hills and are seen as poor. So land that's unproductive is the source of one important definition for understanding class identity. The other important theme that I highlight, for example, the term redneck is identified as being associated with people who live in swamps. At the same time, hillbillies are associated with people who live in the hills and are seen as poor. So land that's unproductive is the source of one important definition for understanding class identity. The other important theme that I highlight, which we also inherited from the British, is the idea of breeding. And this is really important because this is the idea that one's class identity is passed from one generation to the next. This connects to pedigree, lineage, and the fact that for the British and for early Americans and Americans in general, one of the things that we don't pay attention to is that class is not just only about property ownership or the labor value of the job you have. It's also very much linked to breeding and even your children. Children were a measure of the class identity and class status of individuals because the poor children were always seen as unhealthy, poorly clothed, poorly fed, and by the time the term white trash appears, which is in the 1820s, at that moment, poor whites and white trash are now being associated with two other rather disturbing terms for the poor, which were clay eaters and sandhillers. Sandhillers, again, they lived on worthless sand. Clay eaters is where they were seen as not even being white. They were seen as having the skin color, a yellowish tint to their skin color that was compared to parchment. And part of the reason for the poor, which were clay eaters and sandhillers. Sandhillers, again, they lived on worthless sand. Clay eaters is where they were seen as not even being white. They were seen as having the skin color, a yellowish tint to their skin color that was compared to parchment. And part of the reason they had this disease is it's pellagra, but in the 1820s, 1840s, no one identified this. This doesn't get identified until the early 20th century. So when we think about class, we have to return to the importance of breeding, inheritance, and this is also why, as I trace my history, the other important thing to think about, and this unfortunately is still part of our history today, the other group that the English despised were vagrants. So the poor, in a sense, are always associated with people who don't put down roots, who aren't property owners, who are seen as people who are always on the move, people who, and this is actually even used today as a rationale for dealing with the poor. You might all be familiar with Kevin Williamson. He wrote for the National Review. When he wrote a very hostile essay attacking Trump supporters, he not only attacked them for living in dying cities and towns, and also used another favorite trope, referred to their critique as a yelping dog. But then he went on to say that, well, if you're poor, all you have to do is pack your bags and move. And this is, this idea of mobility continues to be a part of white trash identity because in the late 19th century, there were cracker carts, because cracker is another important term for poor whites. And if we think about trailer trash, that's a house. Well, if you're poor, all you have to do is pack your bags and move. And this is, this idea of mobility continues to be a part of white trash identity because in the late 19th century, there were cracker carts, because cracker is another important term for poor whites. And if we think about trailer trash, that's a house on wheels. That's a home, that's a place you live that never gets the same, it's never really seen as a home, because it's seen as again, people who are on the move, people who are not real property owners. So,
Shalom Yasharala. All praises and glory goes to Yahweh. By Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakah Kudash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and salutations unto the elect and feeding the sheep of Yahweh. By Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and sincerity and truth with this great gospel coming out of our Bible. And let's get a verse. This is the book of Psalm 64, verse 8. It reads, "So they shall make their own tongue, to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away." Right? We gotta praise the Lord, call halal Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, right? These devils is telling on themselves, right? These devils feel guilty for their history. Right? For their history, right? You got Edomite women writing books called White Trash. White Trash. And she gave you a breakdown of all these different derogatory names that was given to this devil. And a lot of these names, some of these names come back from other Europeans that was calling them that, right? right? Because when you look at this devil, this Edomite, right? He's a vagabond, right? He don't have a home. That's why he's in everybody's land. He's in South Africa claiming to be a South African, right? He's in Central and South America claiming to be Latino and Hispanics, right? When you look at Telemundo, there ain't nothing but motherfucking crackers. You looking at a lot of fucking crackers. And then most of the entertainers are Jakes, but most of the people you see running them shows, getting the money, that's them crackers, right? The leaders of them countries are Edomites, right? He done took over Americas, Canada, Europe, right? France, Britain, Spain, Greece, right? He's everywhere, man. Even the motherfuckers in the Middle East, it's a lot of the Middle Eastern motherfuckers. I think a lot of them go back to Edomites. You go amongst them Asians, it's some of them Asians, I think some of them go back to Edomites, right? They got that Edomite confusion of face, because we know Esau Edom, he'll plant his seed to control the people. Right, this man, he searched out all things, so he know how to take over things, right? It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And if this man ain't the devil that the Bible speak of, man, who is? Who is, right? We in a time where he's being identified as the wicked the scriptures speak of, right? It says this is white people problem. We're raising violent human beings. White woman calls out white people. Calls out white people, right? They're villains. Right? You look at the fucking movie industry. They ain't showed one positive. They ain't put one positive movie out. They ain't put one movie out that is positive that could lead you to your salvation. Nothing is death. Everything is just death. Blood, murder, drugs, sex, horror. Right? And their comedy ain't fucking comedy. Right? We're in a time. What the fuck you laughing about? Most of these people are losing their houses. They're losing their minds. They're losing everything. The motherfuckers is laughing. These kids are shooting up schools, right? Look at this weirdo in the middle. He done shot up a school, right? They're straight villains. They got that. Look at this. Nothing but a long list of serial killers and murderers and school shooters, right? Pedophiles. Right? This is the true villain of the earth, right? This is the man of sin. Look at this one right here. It says, Law and Crime News. Woman accused of killing mother sticks tongue out in mugshots, right? They don't give a damn. This is a bloody man we're speaking of. What the scripture says, Ecclesiasticus 14:5, he that is evil to himself, to whom he be good, right? He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his own goods, right? You got the fucking forefathers of these Edomites. They ain't send these Edomites to America for a better life. They was trying to get rid of poor crackers, right? Same thing with Australia, right? They was trying to, Australia was supposed to be a prison. Right? They've sending inmates over there, man, get rid of these motherfuckers. That's how them Edomites felt in Europe, right? And now you got these Edomites, them same worthless, low-life, criminal, murdering ass Edomites. They done took over these countries. Right? They done set up shop. That's how you know they are the wicked that the Bible speak of. It says, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good, right? You got a bitch, she done killed her mama and she stuck her tongue out at the police like, fuck you, I don't give a damn. These Edomites that shoot up a school, they don't give a damn. Shoot up a grocery store. They don't give a damn. Shoot up a church. Right? Shoot up anything. They don't care. Serial killers, right? You look at the worst, craziest movies, man. Who's the worst ones? Them Edomites. Right? Them Edomites. Right? Hannibal Lecter. Right? Texas Chainsaw Massacres. Right? Marilyn Manson's. We could keep going all day. You had the one dude, he dressed up as a clown, raping boys. Police at his house partying with him until the neighbors start smelling dead bodies around his house. The nigga was putting bodies in the wall. Gacy, that's his name, Gacy. We could keep going all day of these filthy, wicked-ass fucking demonic Edomites. Shit, and you can't forget that Jeffrey Dahmer motherfucker. He'll eat your ass. Right? Esau will fuck you and eat your ass. Right? That's what he'll rape your child. He's a sick... This man got to be put out, right? It says, deputy indicted on 32 counts of rape, right? It's supposed to be a man you go to for help, right? These women calling cops, he gonna take that pee. What else? You got Mississippi Police Goon Squad reacts to guilty pleas, right? Cops ain't good, right? Edomite kids ain't good, right? What does scripture say? Psalms 58:3, the wicked are estranged from the womb, right? They go astray as soon as they be born. Right? You can't trust no goddamn Edomite. You can't trust the Edomite baby. You can't trust the old Edomite either. And them old, decrepit ass Edomites in the hospital, mean as hell, spitting on patients, cursing out black nurses and Hispanic nurses. You fucking nigger, get off me, nigger, right? And this nigga, all the nigger trying to do is help you out, change your motherfucking diaper, right? I worked at a hospital. Them Edomites was racist. Don't let that nigger touch me. Get somebody else to push me, right? It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's also what they specialize in, lies. Right? These damn cops, all these Edomite cops, man, you can't trust nothing they done put on the paperwork. You already know they show you in the movies, man. They make sure the paperwork fits is on their side when they go to court. That's why now they got these cameras on them. The shit they write, even with a fucking camera on them, they writing still lying. That's how you know they the wicked. They the wicked. All these devils, they got a camera recording everything they doing, but still they go back to that fucking desk and write a full lie, a full tale, a story. And now and who got to pay for this? The citizens. It ain't coming out that white boy check. He just go get another job. But who's paying for it? The people in that city, right? The people in that city. What else we got going on? It says white people fucking love heroin, man. Them Edomites on them drugs. Edomites on them drugs, man. They feeling bad, right? This is them curses of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, right? It used to be nothing but dope fiend black people when I'm Hispanic, drunk Hispanics and dope fiend black people. Dope fiend Hispanics and black drunks. Now you got Edomites off that fentanyl, off that heroin, off that anything they could put in their fucking body to give them a buzz. And it's killing them. It's killing them, right? They done left them suburban communities to come to the cities to look for what drugs. Right in the 90s, man, Jake had fucking expressways and cars lined up from expressways going to the projects just for Edomites to come pick up drugs. And that's when the police was like, oh man, we gotta stop this shit. Gotta stop this shit. But guess what? Now the cartel is in them suburban neighborhoods with that shit them white boys love, right? Also, you got them doctors. We said, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good, right? You got the Edomite doctors prescribing them prescription drugs that are killing them, right? And prescription drugs is worse than them street drugs. That's what one motherfucking doctor said, boy. He said, get hooked in that prescription drug. It's the same fucking thing. The same thing. Right? It's the same thing. These devils are falling. This is the book of Habakkuk 2, verse 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Right? You goddamn Edomites, man. They ain't got a right spirit, right? They want to slay their brother, Jacob, right? Because they lost the blessings. They lost the blessings, right? They've been on a wicked spirit. They've been on a takeover spirit on the earth, right? They're known as, it says, the red horse. And I saw another horse that was red, and a sword was given to him to take peace from the earth, paraphrasing. So we already know that he's not coming for good. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And through his authority, we see the collapse of a society. We see the people fucked up, the women out of order, the children out of order. Everything is out of order underneath his rulership, right? It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, right? The Edomites are prideful as fuck. They got a Sodom and Gomorrah parade where they call it the Pride Parade, right? It says, neither keepeth at home, right? They're in everybody's home taking shit over, right? Because they were supposed to be in Petra, right? Petra, Mount Seir. But then they became what the Greeks, the Romans, and then the Lord chopped their ass down, and then they came back as what? The Europeans in the Renaissance. And now they're the Americans, the Canadians, the French, right? They're in everybody's country, right? Claiming to be those people. They're the South Africans. Right? It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. You hear that? And cannot be satisfied. It don't matter how hard you try to please this devil, you cannot be satisfied. That's why in my jobs, man, hey man, boss, I don't say hello to my boss. I don't say shit to nobody, man. I just keep it moving. Shit, I'm gonna prove myself through my works, right? And my faith through the Lord. I believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and I come to work. I don't come to fucking communicate to please no damn devil. Right? It says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? Right? He keep taking everybody's stuff, everybody's natural resources. He done stole the people. He done took the land from different people. He done took everything from everybody. And it says, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And it's funny, he done robbed so much now he got to go beg other people for money. He got to go to Japan for money. He got to go to China for money. Right? He owe all these different nations. Right? Don't they say America's in debt? Trillions of dollars in debt. Not to be paid back. Right? It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Why? Because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Right? What these devils do, spoil many nations. This man's a killer. This man's a killer. I'm at the job. I'm talking to this small hat. I'm like, damn, boy, y'all over there blowing shit up with cell phones. He said, yeah, we are smart. He was so geeked. He was keyed up. I was like, yeah, boy, y'all know how to kill, boy. Every time I said y'all know how to kill, he got more excited. Well, this is a straight rabbi. My nigga like, what, 80-some years old? But, dude, I think he a Jake. Because I fuck with him, man. He kind of cool. Because he got a Jake spirit, man. All you want to do is listen to old school black music, love music. I'm like, man, this dude ain't no damn, he ain't no small hat, man. He a speckled bird. But he was so excited about his peoples over there doing their thing. That's how they feel over there, because they really think they're the people in that land, man. Esau done took over our identity. He done took over everybody's identity. You had something called the $5 Native American, man. $5 Native American. That mean a white boy come through and pay $5, and now he got deeds to the land. He can call himself a Gadite, right? It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. So just don't, man, the Lord said payback and the Maybach, man. Everybody gonna turn up on Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Because of men's blood and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein, right? This man is a killer. Read the book of Romans 12:19. It says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Right, man? The Lord not about to turn up on these Edomites. The Lord is turning up on these Edomites, right? Check out this story. Yeah, it says, I witnessed him begging for his life. Indiana father dies after police encounter. Right? Well, the motherfucking police fucked this dude, choked his ass out, suffocated the shit out of this white boy. Right? They George Floyd his ass, right? You think this something only happening to Jake? No, this happened to Esau, Edom too, right? Because we're in them times. You've seen dope fiend Edomites, you've seen Edomites being put to death by cops, right? All that go back to the scriptures. What the scriptures say? This is the book of Deuteronomy. I'm going to read 30 verse 7. It says, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Who's that? Esau, Edom, and all them other nations. But we're seeing the curses chiefly on Esau, Edom. He's fallen. It says, Deuteronomy 30:7, and the Lord thy power, and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee.